Welcome to the series where we play through every Harry Potter game chapter by chapter. Now this is episode 4, but it's about chapter 5 in the book. It's confusing, but not as confusing as counting this episode 5 to coincide with the chapter number and having no episode 4. This will be the first episode to cover multiple games, so without further ado, let's get started by continuing with LEGO Harry Potter DS where we left off. Harry and Hagrid go to London and enter the Leaky Cauldron pub. We have the typical scene where the patrons are overjoyed to meet with Harry. As in the books and film, Harry meets Doris Crockford and Professor Quirrell. Here he also meets an unnamed wizard. We leave the pub and tap on the bricks to open the WoW using the touch screen, then enter Diagon Alley. One shopper mentions Kenilworthy Wisp, who is the author of Quidditch Through the Ages. Apparently Gringotts Bank is closed, so we will have to wait. Some rats have gotten loose and it's up to Harry and Hagrid to be rat catchers. After this diversion, Gringotts is open and we can visit the bank. We arrive in Gringotts and speak to the Goblin Teller, and the first level of the game finally ends. We will get back to this game later, but now let's take a look at the regular version of LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 through 4, which starts gameplay in Chapter 5. The main version of LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 through 4, since its launch in June 2010, has been playable on Windows and Macintosh computers and pretty much every Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo console released in the past 20 years. It and its sequel Years 5 through 7 are the only Harry Potter adaptation games still sold, as well as the last ones ever made. Subsequent games such as Hogwarts Legacy are released under the Wizarding World brand and do not cover the main story but tell original ones. The game opens with the cutscene we've seen before. Who's this guy? What is he even wearing? In the Leaky Cauldron, Hagrid, who recently just told Harry he is not allowed to do magic.
Strictly speaking, I'm not allowed to do magic.
Must lift Harry up on this floor to obtain the missing door handle. And this is the first of many times some games require you to perform illegal magic. Though Hagrid was somehow able to get away with giving Dudley a pigtail. And we're performing a great public service here by fixing the doorway into a major shopping center.
Fix this damn door!
We go through Diagon Alley and brew an explosive potion to clear the way. I don't think you could fix that property damage even with magic. Gringotts Bank somehow acquires pulling this chain with Hagrid's massive strength to enter. How could little goblins pull this? Maybe Gringotts is closed here too and locked from the inside. Is Hagrid doing more of his breaking and entering?
Sorry about that. I demand that you leave at once, sir. You are breaking and entering.
The line is supposed to be breaking and entering as per the book, but I've always heard Richard Griffith's delivery as the punny, "You are breaking an entry."
You are breaking and entering.
Because Hagrid literally breaks the door. And the door is an entry. I guess we did talk about Chapter 4 and Episode 4 now a bit anyway. You probably get the picture of LEGO Harry Potter now. Overcoming silly obstacles like these, normally involving a bit of destruction, is the heart of every LEGO game. And due to the lack of combat in Harry Potter compared to Star Wars, Indiana Jones, or superheroes, Years 1 through 4 leans hard into puzzle solving. We encounter Griphook shortly after entering Gringotts, and then we can go to the vaults. We go down in the minecarts to make withdrawals from vaults 687 and 713. Harry gets his money, Hagrid gets his mysterious package, and we're back outside to simply walk into Ollivander's and the level is complete. Due to the typical comedy and lack of dialogue, this version is easily the most contradictory game. Such humor is what makes TT Lego games popular, though. In contrast, the mobile version's gameplay based on character interactions with dialogue and general lack of interaction with the environment and ensuing arson give it an unusually earnest tone. It's kind of obvious the cutscenes were made for one game over the other.
Huh?
Now, let's move away from these easy Lego games to a game that's actually challenging. Enter Harry Potter Game Boy Color. This 8-bit game was one of the original EA published versions released in November 2001 along with the film. American studio No Wonder, for the record TT is British, was given the Harry Potter license by EA to make the most of the early games. In a similar situation to TT, No Wonder's main studio created the PC version, while subsidiary Kryptonite Games created the Game Boy versions. However, Kryptonite had been bought out by No Wonder recently in 1999. TT Fusion used to be independent as well, and named Embryonic Studios, but had been with TT under its new name for longer than it had been embryonic. Remember this about TT Fusion's origins. It will be important in a later episode. That's the last I'll talk about developers in this episode. On to the game itself. The game opens with a simplified version of Harry's Hogwarts letter. I admit I was untruthful when I said in the first video. The latter half of the chapter is in every one of the games as an introductory cutscene. Our non-LEGO ones have the exact same narration, which appears to be one of the few things publisher EA made consistent.
It's an outrage! It's a scandal!
But this game is the only exception. Harry and Hagrid are in Diagon Alley pretty far back, near Ollivander's and the bank, for Hagrid to just now welcome Harry. The first thing about gameplay is that moving Harry feels a bit awkward, especially when turning. Anyway, we change the sequence of events here. First entering Ollivander's to purchase a wand. Harry's purchase is charged directly to his Gringotts account due to not having withdrawn the money yet here, and comes with 2 pre-installed spells, which is of course Hogwash, and illegal for Harry to use outside of Hogwarts. However, it is necessary for Harry to be armed, as in this game the wizarding world is vicious. Upon leaving the store, Harry is approached by another student who loves chocolate frog wizard cards, and Harry is set up with a folio magi, a card organizer, and a folio triplicus to store combinations of sweet cards that can be used in gameplay to harness these cards' magical power. You get to select a starter deck of cards and combinations, which is so small it's more of a starter hand of cards. I selected the Gregory the Smarmy deck as it's the only name I recognize. Harry isn't supposed to learn about these cards until the next chapter though. Also, this guy's name is given in cut dialogue as Derek. We go to Gringotts next, and do not have the luxury of Leo transportation this time, so have to walk. Harry trips and is separated from Hagrid and Griphook. Harry must engage in turn-based battles with bats and rats, using his 2 spells to fight back. There is Flipendo Uno, a cantrip, and Vermilius Uno, a red spell that does more damage but uses 2 magical points, MP. Don't select items before collecting any, because the game will notify you that you have none, and this causes Harry to lose a turn. If you have items, you can actually cancel out of the item menu and select another action, so it's more of a beginner trap. This is the first of many ways this game will screw you over. The only battle you actually have to do to progress is against this giant rat boss at the end of the Gringotts dungeon, blocking Harry's way. However, it is so strong that Harry will need to level up numerous times to defeat it. That means spending quite a bit of time fighting the smaller enemies for experience points. Harry fainted my first time. I tried again and gave him more experience, but on the second try he was still doing 1 damage to the rat. There is a free battle option, but it does not work against bosses, so Harry is stuck in a battle he knows he cannot win. You can find out enough about the small rats and bats, but there is no way to guess how strong the boss is. My third try took about 40 minutes, and Harry collected many experience points, items to restore stamina and MP, and money. He leveled up even more than last time, and also from using his spells unlocked stronger duo versions that cost more MP. However, Flipendo Duo seemed bad, as it costs twice as much as Vermilius Uno, but does less damage. Maybe there are later use cases where it will be effective, but this game is terrible at giving information. I checked the manual, which in most older games like this could be helpful, but the manual stinks. I know giving the exact stats on spells and stuff could take the magic out of the game, and some games are built around failure and discovering things to try on air, but this is taking it too far. This instruction booklet tells you almost nothing past how to navigate the already obviously intuitive menus, and is frustratingly vague on Harry's own stats. What is the difference between strength and magical strength? Wouldn't Harry pretty much only use magical strength? Agility determines who has the initiative to go first in battle, okay, but is that its only effect? I'm pretty sure there's an attack dodging mechanic due to the blue zeros occasionally seen, but this booklet says nothing about it. Simultaneously, it's probably the most condescending manual ever written. In-game I talked to everyone walking around Diagon Alley, but the only advice they gave to Harry was to fight weaker enemies first to get experience, and essentially just grind for experience and brute force the game. So through Harry's newfound brute force from many levels gained, he is easily able to defeat the boss, and finally reunite with Griphook and Hagrid. Hagrid is rude and dismissive to this boy who he just abandoned in the traumatizing, vermin-filled dank dungeon. People say Hagrid is a scumbag in the PlayStation version, but he definitely is at least grossly negligent here. Although he's probably supposed to have left Harry thinking he'll be fine on his own from his characteristic absent-mindedness, and Harry just perseveres through without reasonable complaint due to his harsh childhood. Harry finally gets to his vault, and then leaves Gringotts and returns outside. It's time for a break from this game. This is part 1 of a 2-part episode. Next, we will have an AXO episode 5 to finish chapter 5, where we will finish up with the 2 portable versions and introduce another new game.